Hello, everyone, and welcome to another show, You Start with Mirjam. If you don't know me already, I'm a psychological astrologer. I've been working in this field for the past 12 years, and I help people who are a bit stuck or lost on their path, move forward on their journey, and also to shed light on any personal issue that may be troubling in their life at the moment. Okay, for today, we've got a little Q&A. I was planning that for the last show, but that didn't work out timing-wise. So I would just encourage all of you to put any sort of general astrology questions in the chat box, whatever you want to know about astrology, any questions about planets or how does it work, or star signs, or whatever you feel like you would like to know more about that is not, you don't get information like anywhere else. So here's the expert now, you can talk to me. And I'm going to do that after we talk a little bit about the current constellations, so we always do at the beginning. And of course, I'll be doing some readings for you and try to give some personal guidance to some of you. Okay, so right now it is super exciting, and probably the majority of you will feel the energy because we have a full moon literally right now. It's exact right now. Yeah, almost this very moment. So that means that the sun and the moon are opposite in the sky. And obviously that means the moon is in the sign of Sagittarius because we're in Gemini season. And yeah, full moons are always like, we want to find some answers. Yeah, we want to find some answers under full moon, or we hope to find some answers, or hope for answers being presented to us. Full moons are always the peak. They mark the peak of a cycle, or the peak of an experience. Something also is coming to a close. You see the results of your efforts, whatever you try to achieve. So that can definitely be a time of success. And I believe that even more so as we have the moon in Sagittarius, which is such an exciting energy. It's all about, this new adventure and just believing in something great, something wonderful to happen. So of course, Sagittarius is about faith and belief, and Gemini then on the opposite is also asking the questions, yeah, but do you know all the details? Do you have this information? Do you have that information, or is something missing? Of course, I've got my trusty moon oracle again. Here it is. The moonology oracle is really brilliant. And it's got all the moon phases in it, all the full moons, new moons, and all the signs and some other stuff. So this is the picture for the current full moon. Full moon in Sagittarius, it says here, with a nice bow and arrow. And it says, look at the bigger picture. Okay, so look at the bigger picture is the message of the moment. That is a little bit tricky because we also have Neptune squaring the full moon. And Neptune can sometimes be, is a bit nebulous, can sometimes bring up uncertainty. So there is a bit of a challenge there to, whatever information we get, or maybe spontaneous insights, it feels like we still need to question this, or that there is a challenge there that makes us aware of where we are lacking faith, where we are lacking belief, or maybe we are talking to someone who we feel is not giving us the right information, or not the full information. Something may still be disclosed. So there is a little bit of this, a little bit shrouded in mystery, this full moon. But on the other hand, we have Saturn in a really good position. So it feels like if we really put our mind and heart to something, this will come to fruition. So that's a good aspect for strength, perseverance, and just stay strong in your belief that what you have started will come, give you a good outcome. I think it's really interesting, or I think it's a good thing that Mercury has just re-entered Gemini after its retrograde phase, because obviously the questions that we are asking in Gemini season, even more so, under this full moon now, also the last new moon in Gemini 2 weeks ago, that was still with Mercury in Taurus, but now Mercury is in Gemini. So hopefully this Mercury in Gemini is an indicator that we might move towards really getting some answers. Mercury is also moving towards a sextile with Jupiter, which is the ruling planet of Sagittarius. So there is like something is coming together there. Hopefully over the next couple of days, things will become like maybe more clearer, or you will get that final piece of information, or that contact, or somebody offering you support, or a specific insight will come to you, or you get that information in order to help you move forward. So I think this is a good thing, that these two planets are also coming together. Mars is currently conjunct Chiron in Aries. I don't know if some of you have know about Chiron, or have spent some time researching on Chiron. I'm not really doing a lot with Chiron, like unless I see it's in a really dominant position in a chart. But I do believe it's always worth taking a look. And currently Mars is moving towards Chiron. So that means like whatever battle we're currently in, it's quite likely that there will be some wounds inflicted upon us. It doesn't necessarily have to be like physical wounds, but whatever wounds there may be, or like maybe something, if we just feel the sea is a bit rough, there is always with Chiron there is always this element of healing. So whatever wound there will be, or maybe revealed, maybe it's an old one and it's kind of reopening, with Mars crossing it also. I don't know if some of you may have planets there. It's in the middle of Aries, 15 degree of Aries. Just know that there is always a door opening that will help us move forward on our healing journey as well. So just don't stop, don't give up, just keep going. This is Mars in Aries, also Jupiter's in Aries. So this is a very pioneering, a very courageous energy. Just keep going, and just know, if you take a knock, there, that it's part of the journey. It would just make you stronger. Maybe it will reveal something very important about you, so that you could even overcome a previous problem. Okay, so yeah, that's the constellations of the moment as what's going on right now. I think that's what I think it's most important right now. And do we already have some interesting questions there? Any interesting questions? Yeah, we would just greet some people. Okay. Right, there's Tony. Hello, Tony. Great, you're here. And Adam, hi, Adam. Post your questions, please, guys. Hi, Love, is that correct? Love vibes. Oh, love vibes. Oh, okay, I get that. Love vibes. That's wonderful. Hey, hello, Olivia. Hi, Christine. Hey, Jen. Mwah. Extra kiss for you. KJ. Okay, hello. Mary. Hello, Mary. Hello, China. Hi, Paula. Welcome, Amanda. Sorry, what was it? Zon? Okay. Yvonne. Okay, that didn't come across. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Paula. Hi, Charmaine. Hello, Grace. Hello, Kate. Hi, Lindsay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. Welcome, Kelly. Okay, that's all we got. So lovely to see you all here. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Um, yeah, so we have got what the pinned message, and which is please ask you to understand this is what you need to do if you want to get a quick reading. You need to put in your full personal details, along with a question if you can, because that really helps moving through the process that much faster. Okay, so I mean, we can start with the reading right now if you don't have any astrology questions yet. But there we've got one from Mr. Lyons. Okay. What effect will the Sagittarius full moon have on us? Okay, that was actually just what I was just talking about the whole time. Obviously, uh, the full moon or new moon or whatever constellation is most effective if you have personal axis or personal planet near the degrees, okay? Or if it's like in a major house for you. So it's all about the position that it takes in your personal chart. But as I said, in general, um, this full moon specifically, as it says here, look at the bigger picture, because in the sign of Gemini, we can get caught up in details, we can get easily distracted. And Sagittarius is all about digging deeper and looking for true wisdom rather than just collecting bits and pieces of information, right? So if we really want to make progress right now, it's important to see things, try to perceive things in a bigger context. Yeah, see things in a bigger context rather than just picking up an information here and there. And also, this is also very much about building our own opinions and beliefs, and making sure that we just, we should not just go along with whatever somebody tells us. Oh yeah, this is fact, or this is how it is. Just research it properly and make sure that this is something that is aligned with your belief system. Yeah, Sagittarius is all about belief system and establishing new theories. So like the information that we get right now that may be very useful for us, but we still need to kind of sift through them, and we still need to make sure that we take on board what is aligned with our belief system and just leave the rest, basically. Yeah, especially with his Neptune, because Neptune in Pisces is an influence right now on this full moon, very strong. So that can sometimes mean that there's, something misleading there. So we have to become quite clear. We really have to dedicate ourselves to and make some effort to really look at the bigger picture, what something may mean for us in the wider context of our life, rather than just going to the next person and said, oh yeah, I've seen this, or I've read this, or this person has taught me this. So it's about going deeper, which is sometimes for people it's not it's not convenient, especially because Sagittarius is, as I said, it's bigger pictures. It's not bite-sized, so if you're ready for some bigger, deeper insights and like true wisdom, then I think that means you must make the effort, especially because something may be still in the dark there with this Neptune. But I think it adds a nice note of mystery to it. So it really, I think it brings up this spirit of, I really wonder what this is about. I really want to know more. I really want to shed light on this. I really want to and use your intuition. Strongly use your intuition. But as all full moons, I'm really hoping that this will bring some nice answers and insights, especially as Mercury and Jupiter are moving into a sextile over the next few days. So I hope this helps. Yeah. Got any other question? Okay. what time we've got? 18. Okay, so we should switch on to readings. Let me see, what people do we have here? So we've got Sheena. Okay, let me see, we can put that in. Hang on, open. Okay, where is that? Alexandria. Alexandria. Is that in Egypt? Okay, but what does it mean? Alexandria 12:10 p.m. So what time is that? Uh, oh, because it says 10 p.m. That's a bit. Okay, maybe she can maybe if Sheena, could you just quickly clarify and put your time of birth very clearly? That would really help. Thank you so much, darling. So all the while I've put Alexandria in Egypt. I'm guessing that's the only Alexandria I know. 5th of January I've got, just need to confirm the time. Yeah, okay, 1 second. Because it says 10 p.m. So it's first at 12, but then 10 p.m. Yeah. Because otherwise it would be like 10:12 p.m. rather than before or something. Alexandra. Dumbarton. Okay, 12:10 lunch. Okay. But then it's not, it is Dumbarton. Okay, let me see. This is in here. It should come up. About what country is that? Is that here in? Because I've not heard about it before. I've never heard about it because I've got one in Scotland. This is the only one in the UK I can find here. And in Scotland, Alexandria in Scotland. Oh, I never knew that. See, I've learned something new. Because this full moon is amazing to learn, for learning and studying. Okay, so 12:10 lunchtime, 5th of January, 71. Put this Alexandria, Scotland. And the question is, do you see me moving? Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's interesting because this full moon, it's very near your axis. That also has to do with the home affairs. The sun is nearing it, and the Sagittarius moon is very close to your Mercury. Okay. So let's see. God's Neptune on ascendant has been there for a while. Okay, it's been squaring Mercury. Yeah, I think I can certainly see the desire as this is you looking for a new direction, potentially a very spiritual new direction even. Because your Mercury is very strong position there on the midheaven in Sagittarius, and it's being triggered now by this full moon. The intention is going towards that. Reach your 4th house. I don't know if you've already made any plans or if you are about to start planning, or realistic. Let me quickly check how long Mercury will take until it gets there. It'll normally be just a couple of weeks, really. End of, yeah, this should be in July. Yeah, I would say this beginning. Yeah, I would say around the 1st of July or slightly later, beginning of July. yeah, beginning of July could mark the start of some serious like steps in this direction. Yeah, I definitely see that. So maybe this is even like a time right now where you make really make the conscious decision, but you're just a bit unsure. As I said, Neptune is strong for this full moon. It's very strong in your chart as well. Okay, so yeah, planning, that's very good. So I see beginning of July, yeah. That would be a good time to get even more to the get more concrete. All of this is getting more concrete. That's what I'm seeing. See if anything here. Is anything helpful here? Uranus. Yeah, okay. Uranus is also it's just trining your sun, so you're definitely in the mood for a change, or basically like resettle. Uranus is also, it's just crossed Saturn, it's entering your second house. Yeah, I see you having a change of residence. I would say 90%. Yeah, if that's already what you play, then 90% is going to play out that well. Obviously, we can never say like this transit will always result in a move, or will always result in somebody leaving or quitting their job or something, you know, but we have a certain framework. We have a certain idea of like the energies point us towards what is likely going to happen. And what I see here is a change of residence, finding some new routes. Do you see the place I am moving? Well, I can't see any particular places here, but what I do see is that you, yeah, you are Capricorn sun, but I still see you living in a in a vibrant place, not too quiet. Definitely with like a good neighborhood where you can make lots of contact with people. That's for sure, where you can just easily make new connections, you know, have a chat here and there. An interesting place possibly that offers a lot of cultural entertainment as well. So where you feel like this is inspiring, you know, not a place like where you feel, okay, I just have to live here and then I'm just commuting every day, and it's not really a place where I have any sort of like connection with. I feel like the intellectual and spiritual connection is very important for you to when it comes to choosing the right location. So I would suggest like a vibrant place, maybe with entertainment opportunities nearby, yeah, and not people who are that you can easily connect with, that can give you lots of fresh input and ideas and distraction. So even though you have an earth moon and an earth sun in your chart, I think this is the place where you need to be, possibly something that really, where you really feel like you're making progress there and you can be inspired. Yeah, that's my advice. Okay. So I wish you best of luck. So this should be on the move in a couple of weeks, at least, very concrete. Thank you so much, Sheena. Okay. Do we have someone else in the mix there, or any further questions? Bring it on. I'm a Libra. When is the full moon most in my favor? When? What do you mean by when? I mean, there's a full moon, at least one, in your sign, or do you mean like any full moon? Do you mean any full moon, or when is the full moon most in my favor? I mean, obviously, you know, as a Libra sun or Libra personality, is like your core being is all about making connections, building relationships, not just in the romantic sense, but just really building relationships, getting on with people, you know, finding some common ground. So if you want to look at how that impact your sun or like your core being, then I would say this is like, it's like peak phases on your path to establishing meaningful relationships. Yeah, that's one side of it. Obviously, it always depends what area of your chart any full moon is happening. So now, you know, the sun is in a week is moving on to the next sign, is moving into Cancer. So then when we have a full moon, it will be a full moon in Capricorn, then that maybe will be square your sun, because Capricorn and Cancer square the sign of Libra. And so that there will be a more of a like of a challenging time. Maybe if it's in your own sign, so that means during Aries season, we can have full moon, or maybe even a new moon in Libra during the time you were born, then in September, October. This will just highlight, you know, just highlight your core energies. So the full moons and new moons, they're always just highlighting something, bringing something to light. We know that the moon is a symbol for the subconscious and the sun is a symbol for the conscious mind. So whenever these two come together, the sun is kind of shedding light onto something that has previously been you know, in the subconscious. And sometimes it doesn't always feel comfortable, but our soul, I believe, always knows exactly what needs to be brought up, what needs to come to the surface, you know, things we just need to gain a better understanding of. Yeah, so of course I don't know your full chart, but it would probably be nice having a full moon on your relationship axis. That means in the 1st and 7th house. Yeah, so if the full moon is happening in either your 1st or 7th house as a Libra, I think that would be most welcoming and most I would say like most supportive when it comes to relating to people, improving relationships also, or building new relationships. Maybe sometimes you are in a, you know, new environment and you want to get to know people and you want to establish some really good harmonious relationships, you know, because you know also the moon is also from a symbol of harmony and just togetherness, feeling welcome. So if that's happening in your 1st house or 7th house, I think that would be most in your favor in terms of approaching others and establishing harmony, peaceful and harmonious relationships. Yeah, I hope that helps. Right. What do we have? Got one more. And thanks, Olivia. Okay, Katie Kayla, we have here 12% in parts of Pennsylvania. Any health issues I should be aware of? Yeah, sure. Let me have a look. So. Pennsylvania, there it is. That's the only Pottsville we have, is the one in Pennsylvania. That's great. We've got a unique city here. 1st of October, 88. Okay, here we go. Oh. Okay, so Kayla. Kayla, is that correct? Kyla or Kayla? I don't want to say names wrong. Kayla, okay. That's very interesting because you have a natal moon in Gemini, yeah? And the current full moon is directly triggering your natal moon. So that is just a degree and a half away. So the current sun is on your moon and the full moon is directly opposite. And that's where your Saturn and Uranus are placed. So that really highlights, as I just said, moon, you know what the moon stands for. It's always also a health symbol. I always interpret it like when I look at transits or what's currently going on in a chart. I look at it as a symbol of health, well-being in general, you know, health, well-being, and what we may need to, you know, maybe if there's a bit, we need to be a bit more cautious, about, how we treat ourselves or how we go about our days. Obviously, the moon also rules our daily life, daily routines and habits. And your moon is also squaring your Mercury. That is interesting. So I feel like there's maybe often a lot of distraction during the day. Also, Sun in Libra, of course, can get distracted by social engagements. Maybe lots of people around you, or lots of information, or maybe like confusing information, and it's like hard to really declutter your mind. I mean, decluttering your mind is maybe a challenge. Well, that's in general, but right now your moon is affected. Your moon is in the 8th house natally, and it's got a bit of a some difficult aspects here. So with Saturn, Uranus, I would just try to avoid, I would say, like a mental burnout, like overburdening yourself with tasks and just running 27 errands per day. It's just, especially in a phase like this, where also Neptune is moving into that square, it must be utterly exhausting. Yeah, so Neptune is squaring your moon, and like the full moon highlights this, you probably feel the Neptune, and the Neptune is on the cusp of your 5th house. So I think you need to make sure that you have fun time and playtime where you feel completely at ease and under no pressure to sort this out or sort that out, or rack your brain about whatever issue. I think that could be very helpful. Something that will, because the moon in Gemini is always and has a tendency to be quite nervous, and to be a bit over engaged in mental activity, constantly needing something to read, some information to take in. And this is like, you're kind of now with this Neptune on top, it feels like you don't even know what you've read or who you've talked to or who you still need to phone, or you are on the phone for too long, maybe as well. You're on the phone for too long, or you just take in too much information in just a short time. So you just have to cut that down a bit. That is also the general message of your Saturn here in your chart. You have a great thirst for wisdom and knowledge. You love learning, and especially if it's about something that is like, wow, that's entirely out there, or that is outrageous, that is so new, that's fantastic, I want to know more about that. You've got Pluto on your Scorpio rising as well, so maybe the magical and the mystery, that it has a strong attraction. So maybe this is like you're just basically devouring too much information. You have like a mental overstimulation or overflow. So just make sure maybe that you have, even if it's not by yourself, make sure you have a time where it's not where it's just fun, and you can just you don't have to learn, take in new information, or spend all your time on the phone, chatting or posting, or maybe also, this is very social media as well. So maybe I would advise, maybe if you have been doing too much of that, if you've been overwhelmed with messages in your inbox or whatever, posting on 20 platforms, try to cut that down. Just say, no, today I'm just sitting in my bathtub, or whatever. Give your mind a bit of a rest. That would be my advice. But I would say maybe an issue there. So if you're asking, that means that you already feel, you something is not going right. Maybe you should change. Just, and it's now saying like, maybe just take a time out from communication. social media, constantly reading, chatting, whatever. Yeah, that's what I suggest. Yeah, but nothing really bad, nothing major health-wise. Okay. Thank you so much. Who else do we have? Or do we have astrology question maybe? Who's here? Adam's got a question. Yes, Adam. Oh, but Adam didn't have a question. No, I don't think so. No, not at all. We just had Tony's question. Yes, absolutely sure. Yes. Yeah, yeah, because Adam promised me specifically to ask some nice question today because he's a great supporter. Okay. Signs. Okay, so you mean this specific full moon? Probably this specific full moon or any full moon. That's any. Well, I mean, the moon is naturally is a water planet. Yeah, so the moon rules the sign of Cancer and is naturally at home. Yeah, feels most at home in the water signs because in the element of water, the moon can best self because that is the realm of emotions and feelings. You know how some people it seems like they don't really feel emotions like in their belly. It's like they just intellectually process and analyze their emotions. You often see that with the moon and air sign. They overanalyze their emotions and they can't really feel it. So if there's I think the water signs are specifically I would always say it depends on the individual chart, because maybe someone has a sun in the water sign, because if you say like water signs, I mean just water principles, or do you mean people with a sun in the water sign, meaning Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer suns, they most likely they have a natural or stronger natural connection to the element of water. Obviously, as I said, depending what else is going on in their chart, because maybe they have a water sun, but then they have 5 planets in fire and the rest is in air. The new moons, people who have maybe also it depends on the moon phase, whatever moon phase they were born, were they born under maybe a new moon or a full moon, or a waxing moon, waning moon, gibbous moon, whatever moon phase. I mean, that would also have tell us something about how strong the phases, or at what point we react to the phases. Actually, it's today. It's as we've got a very a prominent birthday today. Today, born under a full moon in Sagittarius. So this full moon, it's like recurring because it was the same on his birthday. So obviously that's air and fire. In his chart there's also a couple of Cancer planets. So someone who was like born under a full moon or maybe a new moon, whatever sign they are, like their sun sign, be they a Taurus, a Sag, a Leo, or a Virgo, they will probably have a stronger feeling because the sun is like, as I see, it's like the sun is always looking at the moon, the sun. So they're kind of looking at each other, the whole time. They're looking at each other. Or even if they're in conjunction, we have a new moon, they're even closer together. They're just, one can't do without the other. So I would always say it depends where the moon is in the natal chart. But if you are a water person or watery person with a lot of water in your chart, or maybe the sun Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, you may have feel a closer connection to what the moon is doing, yeah, and then feel the potent energy of the moon even stronger. But it's a highly individual thing. It's a highly individual thing, so it completely depends on what is going on in your personal chart. Okay, thanks so much for the question. I hope this helps. What do we have here? We have a question by Amelia. Hi, Amelia. Does my Sagittarius moon, oh, well, lovely, and Gemini Venus affect my love relationships, please, and why? Well, yeah, technically, any planet can affect your relationships, more or less, because it's definitely part of your psyche. It's part of your unique energetic makeup, you know, or energy cocktail, as I call it sometimes. Of course, the moon and the Venus, they are quite important relationships because they tell us about what needs we have, what we desire and expect emotionally from a partner, and also how we express our own affections. You know, if we like someone, how do we express our affections? If you have Venus and Gemini, then that means that you just like to have, you know, maybe start things off with a good chat, maybe over lunch in the canteen, yeah, as a typical scenario, for example, for Venus and Gemini, or maybe whilst standing in a queue at a store, you know, just a casual, starting up like a casual conversation, and just very light-hearted and not with any expectations, just finding something interesting to talk about, that, you know, that maybe you are a part of this very moment. Like, this person is like also in the queue, and you are like also in the queue, so like this is happening. It's a momentary situation. This is very, because in Gemini, it's often about, it's a mutable sign, so it's about scenery changing quite quickly, you know. Or this could be like, you know, picking up kids from school. This is also, it would be a Gemini like kind of scenario. But in general, it means that you are a very approachable person with a Sagittarius moon and Gemini Venus. You're a super approachable person, very open to interacting with people and making connections, teaching them and being taught in return. Yeah, because this is exactly the energy of the current full moon. It's so much about learning and teaching. And in these signs, you really want a big part of about learning something from the other person. You know, it doesn't mean like they have to, you know, been at university or studied for 20 years, or be like even like being a wise man, philosopher or something, but it just means that the interaction, there might also be a strong attraction towards travel in this combination specifically, both long distance and short distance travel. And explore new places together, or new scenarios, or a particular culture maybe. And then this is how you expand your horizon. So if you have a moon in Sagittarius people, want to give them that, take them out of the daily grind, out of the so this is about experiencing something extraordinary. So you may also be drawn to a partner from that comes from a different cultural background, yeah, from a foreign country, or has some sort of roots or some backgrounds there. So definitely someone who can offer you a lot to learn about, something very interesting, things you do. Yeah, and someone definitely who loves communication, who's communication, always open. Should be quite Oh, so yeah, I hope, okay, I hope this helps. I hope this helps. Thank you. Thank you very much, Amelia. Okay, so here we're having a very bad connection right now. I'm very sorry about this. I hope it's not, I hope it's not Neptune. Okay, not interfere. Let's see, do we have any personal questions or general questions? I have not been able to find out my birth time. All I know is it was nighttime. Do it at noontime then to find out my astrology. Well, okay, so if you already know it was nighttime, so well, I suppose that's maybe between 8 or maybe between 9 and midnight, around that time, unless it was 1 or 2 a.m. Um, go with a time that is like kind of in the middle of that time span that you believe is the most accurate. Yeah. It was not at time. Sometimes when people ask their parents, they say, "Oh, I just know it was, it was a night." Maybe you've got a time frame of about 2, 3, 4 hours, maybe up to 4 hours. And I would just go in the middle. Yeah, I would just go in the middle, and then definitely also see what comes. Sign is about to change, maybe 10 minutes later, or just changed a couple of minutes before, or maybe the moon certain aspect. Obviously, that is best to be done by an expert, by a professional. um, can be done. Yes, yes, I do that as well. But it's a bit time consuming. Obviously, if you want to get to the exact minute, you have to examine like lots of. Well, sometimes you can go by your intuition. If you talk to someone, know someone, you can just at least nail it down to one sign. If you have a rough events, and then do some maths, which I can do but it's just as close as you can. Don't take the noon time. Take noon. You would get closer to the accurate time. Yeah, and then obviously, as I said, it's best to look, talk to an expert, and then see placement comes up during that time, and then maybe it's more likely a bit sooner or it's more likely a bit later. So you're approaching it. Okay. Yeah. That's how I do it. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. If you don't know, okay. Okay, so the connection is really that bad that we may have to break up. I will try once more because it may come back all of a sudden. How is it now? Still cutting out? Okay, okay. Okay, let's try this one here. I'm going to put that up and then see. This is by Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm going to put in your data, okay? Oh, I'm very sorry about connection problems. We've been doing really well so far. 80 in London. Okay, what is the time now? 30. Okay. Okay. Work-related stuff. Work-related stuff. Okay. Okay. So Jupiter in the house of work, Mars in the house of work, lots going on there. Well, I would say it's just all about finding something that really sparks your passion right now. You're really being asked to explore what you find exciting and inspiring, and also where you feel like you're really fulfilling a purpose. You know, something that really makes sense to you, and that could be very difficult because Neptune is moving towards the sixth house cusp as well. So it feels like there's something dissolving there, but there's already a desire and an enthusiasm there, and will continue on into the next year, to really have more fulfillment in work. So I would say it's like, if you have a nagging feeling that you have been quite unfulfilled, then this feeling is definitely right. It's not kidding you. That's what's happening here. So Mars is nearly out of the sixth house, but probably over the past few weeks, most likely, maybe you have felt like, maybe been asking yourself, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Does it really feel good to invest my energy into what I'm doing here, currently at work? This is telling me it's pretty straightforward here. What about your general constellation? Okay, you were born under a, well, nearly new moon, almost a new moon, but the moon will still have looked very big in the sky. So Virgo sun, Virgo moon, a lot of Saturn, Jupiter. Yeah, you want to be of service. You definitely want to be of service, but you also want to make your own free choices. And maybe now you're feeling that you could have so much more pleasure, fulfillment, excitement, variety as well, in the work that you're doing. So I would just definitely go with that, pursue that. The good news is that Jupiter is going to stay in your sixth house for a while. So Jupiter is generally a symbol of things or something improving. It's most likely about growth, expansion, or it's just an improvement, a new opportunity to make things better, arrange things in a different way. The sixth house corresponds to your Virgo energy and your Virgo vibe. So this is all about organization, in terms of money, work, and income, making ends meet, trying to work it out. So you got everything, ready or at the ready that is necessary for you, like making a living. And Jupiter now in this house can give you some opportunities. It's the third house ruler. Maybe you can bring in more variety. Maybe get you in a place where you can have like maybe better connections or better communication with people. So you may have felt a bit too isolated, perhaps not really integrated into something. Okay, feeling unfulfilled with work. Yes. Okay, so Neptune, I think, is already giving you an inkling as it approaches. So this may be a bit of it is a spiritual journey as well, I think. Yeah, what I see being triggered here is that you probably need to spend some time. Maybe it's a good idea to meditate on that, or just in general. I think what Neptune does is a bit like with Neptune, sixth house Jupiter in there. It's a bit of a wild card I'm feeling, where you can go like, right, whatever I've been dreaming of, let's look at this. So no dream is now, or no desire or urge that you feel, what you want to experience, rather than what you're experiencing right now. Nothing is too outrageous, nothing is impossible, nothing is too big. I want to make very sure that I am aware of all my really deepest dreams and desires, because what I see here is a strong urge to move to a better purpose, and because you want to be of service as a Virgo with a Virgo moon as well, you're probably not fulfilled there. So as Neptune rules your sixth house, there may be a bit more of a spiritual purpose that you need to incorporate. And if you're just doing, something, just carrying out orders, which Virgo is great at carrying out orders, by the way, but it seems like that is not nearly enough. I think you need to move more towards your dreams, and I think Jupiter's helping you because it sparks the enthusiasm inside you and helps you get into connect with the belief that this is possible, and a much, much bigger dream and a much better energy is coming towards you. So this is definitely the time to prepare for that, and maybe overcome any inner obstacles. If you feel like, oh, I don't know how this could come about, or am I really is this really for me? But I have a feeling with all this going on there that you already have a strong idea about what direction you feel drawn in, or like, yes, I'm starting to feel a pull in a slightly different direction, more towards my dreams, definitely, because this is like Jupiter and Neptune, they are both like the wish fulfillers, or the potential wish fulfillers. At least definitely as a first step, they make you aware. So you want to have this kind of magical, dreamy energy in your house of work. So that if that has been lacking, then as a first step, you need to allow yourself to feel this and allow yourself to wish for that. And you can definitely move towards it. Jupiter will stay in this area quite far into the next year. There's be another couple months in the next year. So this is a great time for just digging up new opportunities. What I would suggest, do whatever you can to get very clear of this dream, or this new purpose, this new direction that you're feeling pulled in. So the clearer you are, the quicker this show will go on the road, and it will go on the road with Jupiter there. So that is great support. I think will give you good ideas. I think first, once the floodgates open, they will open with Neptune there, and you'll feel like, oh, I don't have to continue doing what I've been doing and I haven't been fulfilled. I can make a change, and you kind of allow yourself that. And don't hold back, because the moon there with Saturn in Virgo is always is quite holding back with your dreams, or maybe not allowing yourself, not daring to allow yourself. So if you overcome that barrier, I feel you will quite swiftly, like over the course of the year, you will move towards a much better, more fulfilling place in your work. I wish you all the best for that, Elizabeth. And thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your question. Thanks to everyone again. Thanks to everyone who's joined and tuned in. Again, so sorry if it's been cutting out and you haven't been able to hear me. Hopefully this is not gonna occur again. And I very much enjoyed today. It was lovely to talk to you. I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. If you feel you need personal guidance in whatever issue is troubling you currently in your life, I'm available for one-on-one coaching. Also, do check me out on Instagram. Follow me at mirjam.astrologer. I would love to connect with you. And I hope you have a great rest of the week. And I see you all in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.